Sure. Okay. Sorry.
I'm literally asking and you keep saying no.
I just thought it was no problem.
Better late than never.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're here watching the semi-final of the mixed doubles Australian Championships. On your commentary team today, we've got Fiona Foley
And Steve Johns.
We've got an exciting matchup here with Millikin and Westhagen Panoussi, or Panini as he's been more affectionately known as.
He's in my phone as Panini, which is a tasty curler. So who's what color and what's going on here? So it looks like, yeah, I heard you.
Millikin are yellow stones.
I know. So Millikin is yellow. He's played a nice little rock here. He's probably going to roll too far. Matt got last rock because he was in the 1-2 match against Dean and Talley and came second in that. So he got last rock. They've both done their practice.
So they didn't have to LSD?
They did not.
Oh.
They did not. And so Matt and Jen have last rock. You can see the actual placed rock is shot rock, which can happen in mixed. It can be the whole end and it still scores. I like those ends.
Yes.
You go, what is all the dance around that rock? And nothing happens to it.
Mm-hmm. So Steve and I are actually nemesis. Nemesis.
Adversaries?
I think.
Mates.
Yes. I think Steve took us apart in the round robin. But there was still a Fiona magic shot to finish that game.
Yeah, it's going to be a running theme for the next hour and a half. We're going to ask for some help on YouTube. I know you can watch it on Facebook, but I think the comments that are being monitored are more on YouTube.
Yep.
And we want to build the Australian vernacular for curling.
Yes.
There is 2 words that we have in the dictionary at the moment. Fiona, what are those words?
I think we've got the smashy
Yes.
and the flashy.
Oh, I thought it was the Fiona Tickler.
Oh, no, that's the slashy.
Okay.
Flob. Are you familiar with the flob, Steve?
No.
Well, it's a term that we came in contact with in San Francisco, and it's when a rock is really only just nibbling the outside, and it's a frustrating little outside biter, or you can substitute the F for something else.
Just got some creativity there. What's happening here? Hugh is playing his last shot. Carly is throwing the last rock for their team. You can see 3/4 of that stone. Looks like he's coming down gently. Playing a little freeze or a little tap.
Yeah, they'd be hoping to get that in the button area.
Tricky little straight spots of the ice.
It looks pretty wide.
Arms raised. Welcome to sheet B, Hugh.
Oh, I think he's done a flashy.
Flashy. We have the third word. They can't all be the same syncopation.
Oh, yeah,
can
it
they?
is. And there's a shaky at the end.
Okay. I thought that's how I curled.
All right. So we're still sitting 1 red.
But that was absolutely.
Alrighty. Jen throwing her last rock, and of course Matt throws the 1 and 5 in this end. They're on
We've got some YouTube comments coming.
pretty.
Our old friend of this community, Lauren Robbins.
Oh,
Wagner. Hello.
wonderful.
Laurie saying hi.
I'm just going to sign in so I can read some of them too.
Megan Edwards. Is
I'm
Megan
a-
Edwards known to anybody?
I'm a little. Oh, of course.
That's right.
Jen found the same path that Hugh's rock found.
That's just a conveyor belt to the hack.
Okay.
So Carly really needing to pop one on the button here.
It's a great start by Jen and Matt. Jen would have liked that a little shorter, no doubt, but the question is whether Carly's going to shut the door on them and play a shot that's you can quite see a freeze or a come around there that could hide.
She put her LSD in this morning's game right over the pin, so she does know where that
Yes.
that lives.
I'm aware of that. That was against me.
Yeah.
It wasn't us. She's sizing it up. This is a pretty important shot pretty early in the game.
She doesn't want to get on that conveyor belt to the hack, does she?
No.
Although she's got a
For those
bit of
of you-
backing there.
For those of you not curling here, the ice can be quite sensitive, weight sensitive. If you're just that little bit too heavy, it'll track.
And there's a few straight spots on these middle sheets.
But I think the clever thing about Carly is she throws T-line weight. This one's going to curl, and Hugh's just going to sweep it to T. Probably needs to bend a whole nother rock.
It's coming.
Jesus, is it ever. It's a
Not
very nice
quite-
shot.
Not quite enough weight.
Probably not deep enough, but... So what's the situation here? Red sitting 1?
I believe so.
But yellow do have 3 seconds, as they say in bowls. So it's a simple draw for 2. Not simple, sorry. They're never simple, are they?
No.
No. Unless you're Andy Collins. Unless
Yes.
you're Andy Collins in an extra end with a wide open with a shot.
I know. I really wish I had have put that guard a little bit further over.
Clutch
but,
Collins.
All right, so are we trying for an in-off or?
I think it's a straight draw. I
Okay.
think you're not going to be... I mean, the in-off is an option if it tracks. Certainly can use that stone, but they'll be talking about interval time or hog-to-hog time right now and aligning. Matt's got a number in his head and he has thrown on practice, so it's going to be close.
How's the line looking here? Looks a little wide.
Well, if he gets a piece of the 4, as Bruce Freshwater has told us, there's 2 in it. Jen would need to sweep it to T-line, and I think he'll have it.
Oh, a little light. Oh,
Let's see.
I think that might be. Is that good enough?
Oh.
oh.
Wow. Oh.
They're measuring.
And the ex-vice president of World
they've said it is.
The
Too
ex-vice
red.
president of World Curling measures with his broom. You saw it here, folks.
The Hugh broom.
I think that's a warning from an umpire. I think it is.
So are we doing our...
We're about to have another game starting up on sheet D. Seniors
Yep.
versus seniors.
You know, often when I'm commentating, I quite like a cup of tea.
What do you?
Yeah. I'm just going to ask Ian Gagnon. Ian Gagnon? Could you bring me a Spates, please? For those of you not from New Zealand, Spates is a lovely, just a general black orange pekoe tea
Yes.
in a cold bottle.
Oh dear.
They got the 2.
It's a good start.
That's it. Jen certainly swept a lot of rocks there. That
Well-
knowledge to know the timing and the communications between the two of them.
Jen and I played on the women's team, and she's right on times and sweeping to perfection. Matt here trying to pop one on the button, I would imagine. Classic opening shot of the mixed doubles competition.
So this is Matt showing us all how it's done.
Just pop it right there.
Safe little tap.
Little tap.
It's a wonderful shot. It's very much a relief in mixed doubles when the first player makes that shot.
Yes, things don't tend to go very well when you don't get that one in there, as I found in our game, Steve.
Yeah.
Tends to result in needing to do some heroic hitting. Is this looking a smidge light? No? Bringing it in.
That's a pretty good follow-up shot.
This is schooling.
Well, she wouldn't have minded it a foot heavier, but you know what? They all move forward in the end.
I think there was a saying that was brought to my attention that rocks in front of the tee line can only get better, rocks behind can only get worse.
Yep. And yeah, Lauren Robbins, the power play dance lives on.
Oh, excellent! Yes,
It lives on.
I think we had some mixed results with power plays in this competition.
It kind of resembled a bit of a mini haka,
Yeah,
if that's being culturally sensitive still.
but I believe Team Pal Collins called a power play against Dean and Tarley, and they stole 5 off them, so it wasn't overly successful.
Yeah, and I think in this semi-final that we're watching, the winner, which goes on to play Dean and Talley
Yep.
tonight at 7 Naseby Central Otago time, I don't think you're going to see the power play dance.
Aw. I think we told Roz she needed to do a power play dance in an earlier game, and she spun around in circles and then said, "I'm a little bit dizzy now," so I don't think that's a good idea for any...
Don't do it on the ice. It's got an extra level of complication. What's Jen doing here? She's going to come down and...
Sit on top of...
It doesn't matter if she moves that yellow off. Oh, my tea has arrived. Thank you, Ian.
What a lovely brew.
What kind of fermented tea is that?
Yes. It's the Spates Gold Medal Black Tea.
Yes. So I think this was a shot last night, Brad and I were saying was a pimple squeeze. So if you hit the red rock, it will squeeze the yellow one out.
I'm a little uncomfortable with that.
Okay.
I think we all are.
But people love pimple popping. Like there's
I
whole
speak for all the peanut
YouTube
galleries.
YouTube channels.
We're all quite uncomfortable.
But I think mixed doubles is really a game of angles, isn't it? You kind of try and put it in a place where if you...
It's where that yellow rock is right now. I guess those 3 rocks. They're all, playing that button and just north of it.
What do you think he is going for here?
Hugh Millikin, he's sponsored by Deep Heat Rub today.
We can smell it from
Yeah, this is his second game of the day, and he played last night, and he played yesterday afternoon.
Is that a pretty
He
hectic schedule?
just missed the sweep call.
Oh. Tick that guard.
It's not terrible, opening it up a little.
Mhm.
Won't mind that bit, but he probably would have preferred to be around.
Yeah. I guess when you're the hammer, you want to keep things open for your final draw shot.
If anyone's just joining, it's second in. Jen and Matt playing Hugh and Carly. This is the semi-final. And the loser is out.
Yeah, it's a high-stakes game.
I've put offers to both teams that whichever one loses could join Veronica and I at the pub.
Hey!
Not the local
That's
pub
incentive
because
enough.
it's closed.
Yes.
The Royal is closed tonight, unfortunately. But I'm thinking Ranfurly or Waipiata.
Okay. See,
Have you been to those pubs, Fiona?
I really have been to the curling club
Yeah.
and the pub.
Right.
In Naseby.
I think that's 500 meters apart.
Yeah.
Okay. How's your step count? I guess it's not bad if you are measuring your curling.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But no, I think this is going to be a close game.
Alrighty.
Coming in.
Happy short here. Matt would be happy with a steal of 1. And Hugh's going to want to say, I want to see
It's like we're guarding
through
that
hole.
that draw path.
You know what this shot is, Fiona?
Is it a run back?
I think it's a smashy.
Smashy, smashy! My favourite. I think this term came about, so Anne and Andy introduced us to curling, I think 4 years ago now, 3.5.
Okay.
And they dragged us along to nationals with virtually zero experience. And so we could barely do draws. And
Right.
then I think one of our first games against Hugh seems to find the weaknesses of various teams and then exploits them heavily. And so
Yeah.
I think he realised very early on that Brad and I couldn't hit and was drawing us into a hitting game. And so
Yep.
Andy would just direct us in the direction of a whole lot of rocks and go, smashy, smashy!
We'll give Hugh a half shot on that.
Okay.
You know, like
Getting rid of
it's
the
the
guard
right
is-
tolerance, as they say. If
Yes.
you can't make your A shot,
Plan
make
B.
a B. No zeros.
I think when I went over to the Worlds coaching the mixed fours team, I was asked to score the shots, and I was convinced that anything that didn't stick the shooter was not 100% shot, but I didn't realise that peels you didn't need to stick the shooter. So,
Yes.
so I'm like, Anne, your stats are shit. And she's like, no.
What have we been doing? Scored? Yeah. It's on my hand.
All right, so we are sitting 1 red.
2-0, Matt and Jen. They're looking to make a little steal here. Means take a point when their opponent has last rock.
They are quite good thieves. They do steal. No, we don't like the yellow coming into being shot. No, not quite. I think there was a clench there.
This is one of those interesting decisions. You're seeing He's thinking through quite a few different things.
I want a smashy here. What
Well,
do
I
you
don't
like?
think that would help him too much.
No?
I think that would.
You don't think it would squirt the yellow out?
I think.
Steve doesn't like pimples.
I think it would, but he's yellow, so he doesn't want to smash it out.
Of course.
He-
Yeah, he wants to keep it in there.
He wants
Sorry.
to keep it in there. Yeah. So he's going to play what they call, it's just basically hit and roll.
Yeah. I was also calling it a hit and hide.
So what he really wants to do is hit it, roll over, and maybe nudge his yellow rock
A little
back
bit.
onto the other one so that it's shot.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
We would applaud that.
Yes. Let's see if he can execute.
Carly, of course, has last rock, so there's still 3 to come.
And so the mixed doubles game hasn't really been in existence for that long, has it?
You're asking me a question I don't have the answer to? I think it's probably about 15 years old,
Okay.
12 years old, something
Fairly
like that.
young in the
It merged, yeah.
scheme of curling.
Could be an interesting one here. No. He was calling some late sweeping there to, what's this?
2008.
2008. Oh, sorry, my AI assistant. I've got Ian GPT. 2008 is when mixed doubles was formed or born or in that vicinity.
And Hugh was involved in this, wasn't he?
Look, he's an ex-vice president of world curling
Yep.
and ran competitions.
Yep.
And a strong innovator in the game. Wants to push the limits and find what's modern about and have a distinct variation from fours curling. Different athletes, different rules, different rhythm, a bit faster.
Well, I found a huge difference. So this is the first year I've played mixed doubles.
Okay.
We generally play mixed fours, and it wasn't on this year, so we were like, well, we'll give the mixed doubles a go. Why
Yep.
not? And I noticed such a difference, I think, delivering my rocks. Normally you've got kind of a team surrounding you and, giving you your times and calming you down and all of that sort of stuff. And it's like, I'm so lonely here.
It can be lonely at
Yes.
times. And it can be quiet at times. So.
And a lot of quick decisions need to be made.
Yep. Play it under time clocks to keep it marching. Did you see what Matt was going to play here? Is he throwing yet another guard? Maybe he's... I'm not sure.
This is
I think
like it's got
he's...
some heat on it.
Well, I don't mind this call if he makes it. It's very aggressive. He wants to hit the top of that red one and squirt that. I think squirt the right word. Squirt
There
the
he
yellow
goes.
one out, and
Yeah, there it
he will
goes.
sit.
The pimple has been popped.
There you have it, sports fans. If you count the red rocks, how many are there?
I think at least 3.
So Carly has last rock, and it's against 3. And they're already down 2.
I feel a power play dance might be coming soon.
Even if you, sometimes on these particular ends, even if you cut them down
Yeah,
to 1 or 2,
minimize.
there's some progress. But the best shot, if you simplify it all that mess and you say it's the draw shot challenge, and you're just playing that in-turn, guide it right to the tee line, maybe they don't get shot, maybe they do.
There's still a path there.
Yes. Oh, my tea's getting cold.
I think the advice that I was given was, if there's an option, draw. Don't get into complicated tappy-tappies. Looks like that's exactly...
Shout out to our TV production studio, Brad, who's behind us.
He's done...
If he put a baseball hat on sideways, we'd call him DJ Brad, because he looks like that, doesn't he? This looks amazing, this shot.
Girl!
I think it's going to at least cut him down to 1.
Beautiful.
That you applaud that.
Bravo.
That's certainly one for Matt and Jen, which are happy about, but
One
damage limitation.
One red. They've avoided the power play dance.
Well. Matt was lucky enough to have the morning off,
Yes.
where
had a bit
Hugh
of a
has played
sleep
the
in.
last 4 draws in a row.
Ooh, that's got
So
to
it's a little.
be weighing on those aging knees.
Well, it's a good thing he's sponsored by Deep Heat Rub.
And ibuprofen.
Yep.
I must say, I was starting to lean a little more heavily on the ibuprofen lollies.
Right.
Oh, they are doing a power play.
Game on.
Was there a dance?
You know, I think they're saying we're not messing around. We want to get a couple points. When you do the power play, you really kind of want to get a 2 or 3, don't you?
Yep.
2 at a minimum.
And so I think in this competition, whenever a power play was called, everybody sort of looked a bit blankly and like, what's the best opener for the non-hammer team with a power play? Is it the freeze?
Yeah. I've played a few different strategies.
Okay.
Veronica and I often just said, let's not play to the wing. Let's play it down the middle. Let's throw it in the forefoot.
Yep.
That rock can be tapped, but it can't be taken out because of the rules of mixed doubles.
Yes.
You can't play a hit that early.
Yes.
So that's one. I've noticed that Hugh and Carly played kind of top 8
Yep.
towards that rock. Some pro teams would play a
tap.
perfect corner freeze, or as I saw Dean and Tally play when they edged us out in our match.
Yes.
It was a tight affair.
Yes.
They tapped it into the rings.
And I think we saw them do that a number of times in the world competition. And my partner, Brad, decided to see if he could manage it. And he said he could get it about 1 in every 5, which was unfortunate because we only played 4 games.
Right. Okay, so you got to work on the odds.
Yeah. So we've got a double guard here. I'm not sure if that was the intention.
Not the intention, but I think Hugh and Carly would immediately feel buoyant that this is heading down their terms.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When all the rocks are played outside into the button, outside into the button, outside into the button, and you go for a different path, you're going to find the odd little
Yes.
piece of fresh pebble.
Yes.
So you want to throw it a little bit heavier, and the sweepers need to be a little more aware.
Indeed.
Carly's coming in very nicely if that slows down, and I think it will. What a shot.
Very nice.
She's got
Just
2
a
hidden
little
behind
tap.
that.
Yep. It's under
That's
some
going to
nice
try and cut
cover.
it off.
Jen trying to nullify that to be closer to the button. See how she goes. So I think with mixed doubles, there's always a bit of a discussion around, does somebody stay down the end and hold the broom, or do they come back and help time and sweep? What did you end up doing with
We had
B?
have you heard of chaos strategy?
Yes?
Yeah.
But,
We did get good advice that you should make those decisions in advance.
okay.
Because there's a lot of decisions to make in mixed doubles.
Yes.
And if we were doing a strict time clock, a lot of teams would have been in trouble. Not mentioning Powell or Collins at all. I wouldn't do that. But you would, so the more decisions you can make in advance, even when the other team's throwing their rock, you need to be thinking about your next
Yes.
shot, just to manage your time. This is coming very nicely.
It is.
She doesn't want to pop open, but I think she's not good. I'm just going to curl just a bit more and sit shot. Or what does Eagle Eye Foley see on the monitor?
So we've just
Right.
tapped that yellow back into a bit of a freeze position, but red's looks like it's sitting now.
I'd give that full marks, even if it's not shot, because it's in
Beautiful
quite
shot
an
by
aggressive
Jen.
position. They can come down and move it again. At least definitely cutting the other one, the second one out.
Yeah, I think Brad and I settled on coming back to be with the deliverer. I
Right.
think mainly because I got cold if I didn't come and sweep.
You know what we should be doing? Counting how many times people run up and down the ice in one of these games.
Yeah.
But I often found myself running halfway and then realizing I wanted to be at the other way. So I also do a lot of pirouettes.
Yes.
So
But you are very graceful on your glider, though.
haphazard, as some people would call it, but I like commentating with you. Foley and Johns. There we are.
Oh,
Is you just go? Oh, he's just going to try and nudge it sideways and stay. Oh, not.
That's
You know,
right on the button, a little bit behind.
He's going to be okay with that because he's sitting two.
It's hanging out in the breeze, though. Jen.
He's happy to see Matt hitting, and Matt probably needs to hit that so he doesn't end up giving up more than two.
Jen's just held up 2 fingers there. It wasn't an up yours.
No. Okay, good. Yeah,
We're trying to-
let's agree with Rob Swain, and if there's anyone listening, or it's just
I think it's just
my
us,
mum
really.
and Fiona's mum, but say where'd you be listening from? We're listening from Naseby in Central Otago in the South Island of New Zealand, which is the home of Australian curling.
It is. It's a
Figure that out.
It's a tiny town with a population of only about 150. So when we Aussies descend for our curling nationals, we almost double the population. I think they all get sick of seeing us in the supermarket and coffee shop, and
I don't think they get sick of us, actually. I think they like us.
They
I think
like our dollars.
We boom the economy. Jen's got a nice steady shot here. Is she going to stick around?
Maybe not,
Not quite.
but they'll be happy to have that one gone. Any that you can get out of the house reduces the.
It's you going there
Score.
again.
He seems to like that spot.
Yeah, well, I get the feeling if he kept throwing to the 4 foot on the other side, that Matt and Jen would keep hitting it.
Yeah.
And he'd be there for a 2. He'd be happy with 2. But Hugh wants more.
He's greedy.
And you can see the angles there. If he just, it might not be even completed on the shot, but if he nudges it a little, sits in the corner and gets Matt to chase him, the red could leave town.
Good indeed.
So,
I feel like the other side of the sheet's feeling a bit lonely, though.
it is.
Very sad.
I have just noticed on sheet D a sensational seniors team practicing for
Yes.
Australia who are coming back here in the middle of July
Yes,
for
It'll-
seniors nationals and juniors nationals.
it'll be chilly then.
Yes, no snow on the ground or any snow on the mountain. Oh, well, flying into Queenstown there was, but
And we've had some crunchy grass in the mornings here. Oh, it just glided past, but that is now sitting shot. Has that set up any sort of doubly, triply kind of possibilities, or?
let's see what Matt immediately sees. Matt actually might be happy with a nose hit there.
Okay. That looks.
He could,
Maybe
if he
hidden
did hit
roll?
half a rock and might have got 2, but his shooter would
They're-
definitely not,
they're all-
wouldn't stick around,
No.
and hanging around is probably what he wants to do. So
They're all quite glued together there, so you'd need to be throwing a lot of
Yeah.
weight at it to.
he's not 100% certain, so he's asked Jen to come down and have a look.
Little team conference. What do you like, Steve? What would be your call here?
Nose hit's not bad.
Yeah.
Nose hit, and like if you could even rest against the other yellow one, it makes it a little difficult for
What
you.
sort of weight would you throw at that?
Well, if you're hitting it on the nose, you could throw anything,
Control?
provided you hit it on the nose,
Okay.
because it would be the same result, big or small.
Yep.
It depends on which one they want to control. Most, I think you want like a board or a control weight.
Yeah.
A bit of yes, no, which is often happen in relationships. So
We did find that our board weight rocks were not quite as consistent in their icing as the controls or normals. They seem to wander off a little bit, so a control might be the order of the day here. Oh, you've been muted, Steve.
Jen Thomas says hi to Bridget and Pete Becker, who are here. Here's Jen playing her shot. I think it's that board weight-ish. Looks a little wide at first, and then it starts making its move. Don't think that's going to get to nose. That's kind of sweeping for curl.
Is it going to get a piece?
Go. Well, it was enough to have the Millikin teams only sitting 1 versus 2.
True.
And the angles are quite good for that red stone holding those other 2 back. In Hewitt from Melbourne. Ashley Saunders from Melbourne. Amanda from Briz.
Hey. Hey, Amanda.
Nige from Montreal. Bienvenue. Just showing off.
Enchanté.
Showing off.
Croissant.
Harvey Station, New Brunswick. Rob Swan.
So Hugh seems to be liking that spot. He's
going back there again.
Gonna want to head back there. There's some sweeping going on here.
Didn't quite curl as much as he thought.
Maybe
There
a
it's finishing.
smidge
Well, it's
wide,
finishing.
no?
I could be wrong.
Ooh.
I think you want to stop there, but still
Not
an
bad at all.
interesting position. Now, Matt and Jen, are you
I
going
think
to
there's
hit
going to be some smashy.
or draw? Freeze? I think he's going to hit it. Yeah.
Ian thinks there might be a flashy.
It's not enough time to put a poll up.
Can we get a show of hands in the peanut gallery? Bit of
What do you think?
debate
What do you
here.
think they're talking about?
Maybe what they're going to have for dinner. Actually, it's pie night here at the rink.
Have you ordered a pie?
Yes,
What-
the curler's pie.
What is in the curler's pie?
I think there was a mention of potato, maybe
Okay.
a vegetable pie. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
we're
here we
getting the
go.
me- we're getting the
Oh,
menu.
thank you, our Ian GPT. So we've got a curler's pie, traditional beef and greens, topped with a hearty mashed potato, or the hay dal, vegetarian curry pie.
2 choices.
Yes. I mean, it wouldn't be a curling commentary without a bit of a food discussion.
Locally made sanga pie, slaw, and garlic roll. Probably with a local Pinot.
Some matched wines, you think?
When they put the broom down, it was fairly close to the yellow one.
Yes.
So my
Your prediction
decades
is
of curling says it's a hit.
Yeah.
And he probably wants to squeeze them out and stay and sit 2. And he would be very happy.
Jen's got her stopwatch at the ready. Doesn't look like a ridiculous weight.
It's hang around weight.
Yes.
It's curling, but I don't think it's curling quite enough.
Ian called it. The
Oh.
flashy.
You know, he had great weight. I would have thought it would have finished more than that. You know, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah,
But for Millikin, this is the opportunity to tie the game. I think they're sitting 2, and they're drawing for the third shot. And we would have a 3-3 match.
Ooh.
Do you know, I had a friend who used to say once it's tied, 1 more each and you'd still be tied.
So it sounds like a very wise,
Yeah.
wise person.
His name was John Terrio. He lives in Myrtleford, Victoria.
Shout out to John.
He's probably pouring wine right now, not for himself, but for others, because he runs a cellar door.
Ah.
Wood Park Wines.
Okay.
They're one of our sponsors.
Or they really should be.
Well, certainly consumed my share of their product. So. So they've done the same, clocking the time. I think Milliken's going to need to work on this. We'll see if
Gonna need to
that.
hurry.
He had the Wendy's Eggs Benedict this morning. We'll see if it's enough. I think it is.
Very nice.
Field goal.
Oh, so that's 3
Football
yellow. That was a successful power play.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about their intent at the beginning of at least getting 2 or 3.
Yes.
And,
I would be
it's
very
just the
happy with that.
unfortunate that Matt had a 1 run straight on him. You know, if Matt just removed one of those, it would have been a
Yes.
draw for 2. And
Yep.
stuff, but that didn't quite work out. But it's good for the fans.
It is. A tight game is always a nail biter. How are we going on seniors time over on sheet D?
There's a lot of people out taking advantage of access to a proper curling sheet and proper curling stones, aren't they? 'Cause
Yes.
Back in good old Oz, there was an article, I think, was it the ABC?
Yes.
That just quoted Dean Hewitt
Yes.
and talked about the lack of progress in Canberra. They got more press releases than they do shovels.
Yes.
That's a problem.
Yes. Yeah, so we curl on ice skating ice in Australia, which I think has been compared to playing lawn bowls on the beach.
Yes. And not to say once the ice is getting made to a certain level in Australia, you then realize how bad the rocks are. We often see on TV at the top level about people complaining about a rock being a little shorter or tighter.
Or a cutter.
They should try and use those rocks in Melbourne, Brisbane, or
Yes.
WA. Although WA have new rocks, don't they?
Do they?
I think so. They're the lucky state.
I think in Melbourne we play at the O'Brien Ice House on a Monday night. We do run come and try sessions, so anyone that's interested in giving curling a crack should come on down. And
What
you
night?
know,
What night is that again?
Monday.
How do I sign up?
There's the Victorian Curling Association website.
Okay.
And you you don't need to curl by bending down. There are stick options, there's wheelchair curling, and there's various aids for beginners to get their delivery slides.
Sorry to interrupt, but
Oh,
this is a high quality game. Look at that.
Very
Matt and
nice
Jen will be
shot.
very happy with that. And you'll notice where the yellow rock went at the back. It didn't go out.
No, it still looks like. I think it's a flob. Do you think it's a
Yes,
flob?
it is. It is.
It's right
But-
on the palm olive line. We've been calling it.
Oh.
It's like the dishwashing liquid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that green?
Yeah.
Okay.
You obviously don't wash a lot of dishes then, Steve.
I have a dishwasher.
Okay.
She's just here. Her name's
Hi, V.
Oh yeah. But if that rock went out, Matt's rock would be removed and the yellow one would have been returned.
Yes, you're right.
So that weight that he threw was just about perfect.
So that could have been swept out by the other team, though, if
Could have.
they. This is coming in nicely too.
It is. They probably want it a little tighter, but it's usable or in the way. Matt's going to have to think about it. Is he going to play that side again, or is he going to play the open side? I think he quite likes getting kind of that
I think
inside roll on that little tap.
as I mentioned, Anne Powell introduced us to curling, and one of
Dr. Ann Powell?
yes, Professor, I think.
Oh, wow.
Her ethos is to be as annoying as possible, so that rock is quite annoying.
How successful would you say she's at that? Pretty
She's
good?
pretty good.
Everybody's got their talents.
That was our strategy in the women's competition, and I think we did annoy the team that came first.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going for a hit here, or?
Just set out ever so slightly, but the weight will probably save her here. You got to call the line right, but I think this is looking very good.
He's bringing it in.
Very good. Very good indeed.
Now, you're a bit of a sweeping expert, Steve. What's your thoughts on directional sweeping?
Well, first should define what we think directional sweeping is. Sweeping in its traditional sense makes a rock go straighter and further.
Uh-huh.
That's the and keep the rock from picking anything up.
Yep.
But a slower rock with an aggressive broom done on the right angle can keep it straighter than normal or get it curling more. Knifing,
Yes.
it can be called,
Yes.
which sounds a bit aggressive, and it
does.
is. If you watch it on YouTube TV,
Yes. So it's sort of like the 45-degree angle
Yeah.
kind of across the...
scratching the ice, creating that kind of momentum change, and it works.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you reckon you need a certain weight on it for it to have much impact?
I think so. And in fact, I think I learned like last week in Manitoba, they're testing because the fabric of the brooms and the foam of the brooms and the equipment has certainly been progressing through the years to make it
And there has
broom
been a
heavy
bit of
game. Wow,
broom
hold on, look at
controversy.
this.
Whoa!
Oh my.
Ooh, ooh.
Great shot. Didn't get all of them. He wants all of them because he's greedy. You talked about that earlier. But that's progress.
He looks happy.
They're still in trouble. They're still in trouble, but less trouble. Yeah, so I think I heard on a podcast that the game used to be 80% throwing and 20% sweeping, and it
Okay.
might have been reversed now.
Okay.
And the traditionalists prefer more success should be in the actual throwing of the rock rather than the art of brooming or sweeping.
Well, back in the day, corn brooms were used, weren't they?
They were.
Were they actually all that effective?
Oh, I wouldn't have
You
a
wouldn't
clue.
know.
I'm
It was
so
well
young.
before your time.
Yeah, that's 30
Hugh would know, though.
Yeah, he would know.
I think he broke a few of them,
I
didn't
think
he?
he did. I think they used to do weird things like dip them in Coke or use razor blades on them to dirty the ice.
Ooh. That doesn't sound spirit of curling.
No.
Jen
comes in here top 4 on the center line. It's making it very tough. And they have last rock.
They do.
Oh, they won't really be too happy with that.
No, that's
Kind of opens it back up a bit.
left that one out in the breeze a little, hasn't it?
It's okay. It's not what they wanted. We talked about damage limitation. I think if Hugh and Carly, I think Hugh's rock, he probably wants to even just freeze on that shot rock, which forces Matt to maybe only get one this end. And that would be a success for Hugh and Carly.
Freezing is not the easiest thing in the world, though.
No.
We
Pretty precise shot.
we often end up with a little bit of defrosting going on with our freezing.
Yep, scores 3-3.
Oh, sorry, I haven't been doing my duties. Let me get
Matt and
we'll
Jen
get
have
onto
last
that.
rock, playing the 4th. Short break after this. Matt and Jen sitting 3. Hugh and Carly trying to limit that damage with a freeze. Needs to curl a bit. It's not moving. Curl, he says. Even just get a corner edge on it. No bounce. Oh. Okay.
All right, I think I updated the scores successfully.
Calling for back line weight. Just somewhere, just hit the yellow one first. And roll slightly over top of their red one. That's the call.
Ideally want to get rid of that yellow.
Jen says I'm coming down to have a look.
She does like to see what's going on.
Don't run into that guard, Jen. There you go.
Okay, so they're
Yep.
coming in on that side.
Not 100% sure if they changed the weight, but the original call from Matt was back line.
Line. So do you and V use stopwatches?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. We time from the back line to the hog,
Yes.
and we have a matrix of hog to hog
Yep.
that correlate. Time our own rocks, time the opposition's rocks,
Yes.
and then we miss our shot.
Yes.
Not quite the greatest angle here.
Oh no.
Well, a 3 or 4 was building, but a draw here will make it very difficult for Matt and Jen to get more than one. They are holding one right now. Also, that yellow rock is a bit fragile because there's more reds in there than yellows.
It is. I think there's been a number of times this week where we've been quite happy with the rock that we have sitting in there until we realised that there was a whole bunch of the other colour around, and when our lonely rock got ejected, there was quite a big score.
Okay. They look solemn. They look ready.
Very serious.
Go through their rhythm.
So there's
Hit the line, hit the weight. They can afford to bump a bit back. Not too much on their own, which is looking like they're going to hit. Just a freeze is probably all they want. Yeah.
oh nice.
A lot of comments here saying that was a great shot.
The
and that
peanut gallery
definitely
are
was.
pleased.
Carly's certainly playing very, very well.
The curling gods are happy.
Tough 2 here. How do you get 2 in there? Will it fit?
Button's looking a bit crowded.
Last rock, 4th end, semi-final. 3-all at the moment.
About to go
Provided he
into
doesn't
the-
take his own out, it's at least 4-3, and they're trying to make it 5-3.
We'll be heading into the 4th end break after this. How's it looking?
It's not light. I think they're sweeping for line.
I don't want to clip the guard, but
It's moving.
it's all right.
They wouldn't be unhappy.
Oh red.
Still 1 red. Valiant effort.
That's a force.
I think if you had we should talk metric, not imperial, but
I know.
we often throw in these feet things.
Well, I find it a bit confusing because we talk about the 12 foot, the 8 foot, the 4 foot, which are the rings, and then we talk about the zones. So there's like
Yes.
zone 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way back to 10 being the back line.
There's even 11.
11!
My sheet goes to 11.
There's often an 11 cry.
Yes. So what are we at? He got a 1.
Oh, I've got to update that.
So it's a 4th hand break.
What are we going to talk about to amuse ourselves?
Anyone want to comment on anything they want to hear us talk about? My tea will need refilling shortly.
So should we talk a bit more about brooms?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm so over that.
Okay.
I think we should talk about Australian curling.
Okay.
Where is it happening?
We've got 3 main locations for Australian curling. So we've got Brisbane. They play at Boondall.
Is that a good rink? Let me ask. To my left, I've got quite a few Queenslanders. Okay. Not very flattering comments.
I think the poor Brisbane contingent have to draw their rings on each time. And there's often some moguls that need to be...
I think some of the biggest challenges are negotiating the right time slot for curling ice.
Yes.
If any.
Then we've got Melbourne. We play at the O'Brien Ice House.
It's like a downtown City Slickers location.
It is. Docklands. We're right near the Melbourne Eye that never really was operational. And then we've got Western
But Australia's first Costco. I don't know if that's something to celebrate or not. Is it eats away at small and medium business in the country?
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful.
And Western Australia, I don't really know where it is.
I don't either. I've never been there.
No. I've heard that in the sort of rankings of ice quality, it goes Melbourne, Perth, and then Brisbane.
Did Melbourne people tell you that, or did Perth people tell you that?
When we had the fun spiel in Melbourne last year, everybody was very jealous of our ice.
Okay.
Yeah. It's still pretty
Which
terrible.
is ironic.
We often have Zamboni lines that we have to negotiate. We call that riding the shiny.
Right.
And it often will just spit out at a random angle, and you tend to be able to play only half a sheet with the negative handle on the stones. So not really ideal for good curling.
That's a challenge.
And
how do these? It's always been a thing about how these people come out of Australia, and then come to these events. What is it like when you've only ever learned to curl on hockey ice, and then you come to a place like this?
It's a magical wonderland.
Yes.
It's actually going where I think it should go.
There is. You can make a lot more shots, can't you?
Yeah. But it is a shame. I think, we play on this sort of quite rubbishy ice and then get thrown into nationals, and it's sort of a little bit difficult to improve as a homegrown curler. We actually had to go over to Canada earlier this year to try and get some
that's a big
improvement
commitment
going on. It was good, actually. We played in a few spiels.
What clubs did you go to?
We were in Vancouver mostly. We flew into Seattle, and we had a little throw at the Seattle Granite Club, which is Jen's.
Yes, I've curled there.
Yeah.
Lovely people.
Then Jen and I competed in a ladies' spiel at the Marpole Curling Club, which is a very cute little club in Vancouver.
Okay.
We then competed in the mixed competition at Royal City.
Oh, I like that club.
It's very fast ice.
Yes.
And
lots of jugs of beer upstairs.
Yes. And then Brad and I were going home via San Francisco, and we competed in a spiel for curlers who had been curling for less than 5 years. And we came runner-up in the B pool, so we actually got a little trophy. So we were quite pleased with ourselves. And I think the Richmond Curling Club took pity on us and gave us sort of almost unlimited practice ice because we pulled the we don't have any proper ice in Australia.
It's good to be a victim.
Yeah, they were very kind. Shout
All right,
out
what
to them.
we're back on.
Oh.
That was a quick break.
It was.
Maybe it's just because your company is so enchanting.
Such sparkling conversation. All right, so still pretty close. Team Millikin with the hammer on this end. It's looking a little light. The ice can get a bit frosty after the 4-end break, particularly if...
Oh, I've just been distracted. The Oilers have beaten the Stars 3-0. So that's... Ian Gagnon has just returned.
Mixing your sports.
I am. That is an ice hockey score. Notice I used the word ice hockey, not hockey.
Not
just to
field hockey.
No. And also in news, the Leafs did not lose tonight. It's an inside joke for certain people.
Well, that's gone right over my head, but...
Short rock in the first one.
Yes, I think there might have been some frostiness going on after the 4th end break.
They're usually a little slipperier, a little
Really?
thicker is the old adage.
Well, there's not a lot going on the other sheets, but surrounding them, so can get a little more icy. My husband Brad sweeping up a storm over on sheet D. Oh, double Brads on the rock.
There you go.
All right, so they'll be hoping, Jen and Matt will be hoping to get into the house this time.
All right. I think she's feeling a bit of pressure on this one. Matt was short.
It's really not great if your first rock doesn't quite make it in there.
Oh, feel behind already.
Yeah. Sort of a psychological...
This one has the right track. The question would be, will it have enough weight?
Looking all right.
I think it does. It just actually doesn't quite have the right track. Could be a little tighter, they would like.
Yeah.
And from our overhead, does it come in for second shot? It certainly does.
Yeah.
Comes in for piece of the top 4. That's a great shot.
Nice rock, Jen.
Hughes not at the other end. Just making the call from this end. Okay. Carly was just grabbing her gripper.
Aha.
Heading on down. This is one of those tough things. Like, you can't really play the out turn and come inside that. And you bump your own in there, but you then kind of open it up a little.
Yeah.
So maybe want to bump it straight on the left, but nope.
Looks like
He's going for the tough one.
Well,
He's
not shy.
Well, he did see that the opponent's rock was well by the guard. So he does know it finishes hard there, and maybe he can finish closer to the center line.
It's looking a little wide.
But it's not the track he chose. No. It's one of those usable later in the end shots.
You could tap that in. Rocks in play. Always good. So I've noticed a bit of a difference I usually sweep with a gripper on in playing the fours competition, so this was the first time I'd really needed to sweep without a gripper on. It's a bit of a different experience.
It is. It is. It's actually easier on your legs
Okay.
if you can master it, wearing two grippers rather than, because your slider leg, you're always using your muscles in that leg
True, yes. I
all
can
the
still
time,
feel those.
whether you throw or whether you sweep.
Yeah.
But I learned to sweep with the slider, so
Yep.
I haven't really switched to that
I
mixed doubles, wide-legged, hoppity-hop behind the rock.
I'm stronger sweeping behind the rock. We've got smart broom, so it will tell you on the app how many kilos you're putting on your sweep, and we've sort of looked at different permutations of
Do you
sweeping.
yell out
and-
numbers? Give me 20 kilos?
No.
Uh-oh.
That's
The intent was right,
probably not what
but
they
the
were
execution
after.
didn't quite work out.
Now sitting 2 yellows.
Hugh and Carly have hammer. Fifth end, they're down 1. Kind of again looking for 2.
That would be
And
nice.
then because he's greedy, 3.
Yeah. So I think the goal in each end when you've got the hammer is to get your 2, isn't it?
Yes. There's an old adage. Take 2, give 1.
And 1 is a force, right?
Yeah. Let the other team...
And then if the other team scores when you've got the hammer, it's a steal, right?
Yeah, the team without the hammer scores is a steal. All right. It's an important shot for Hugh and Carly. They don't want to leave the door open. Track looks good.
Just keep piling them in there.
It's just going to finish for them. He'd be very happy. I think they're going to be relatively happy. It's not brought in for third stone or anything, but they're...
guarding things.
Yep. Matt's got to think about a 2-part shot, and they only got 2 rocks to come.
So I've noticed you and Hugh both do the sort of like rock pullback thing in your delivery.
Yes,
What's that about?
we're classic. Old Coke, not new Coke.
Old school.
Yes.
I like your old moves better than
And
you.
old habits die hard. I can tell you a funny story.
Yeah.
With Kim Forge, I think it was with Kim Forge and Hugh and might have been Ann Powell or Helen Williams. We were in a mixed fours worlds. And there was some commentating, and I wanted to go back and see how a shot went. And the commentators looked at my delivery and said, "You don't see that very often." And that was 10 years ago.
Okay.
So you don't.
No.
New kids, they just kind of they want to limit all that extra body movement into a single motion.
Well, I don't even do a pullback. I start back in the hack
Okay.
and go from there.
That's pro stuff. Yeah, I can't get there.
Okay.
It's just unconscious
The
behavior.
coach that I had in Canada set me up that way.
No, that's good. Who was that coach?
Al Moore.
Okay, famous.
Yeah. He was great.
Hmm.
And it was very good. He was quite a technical coach, so he would be kind of saying, "What muscle did you turn on with that delivery?" I was like, "I don't know."
Do you have to know anatomy for that?
Yeah.
I don't want to know anatomy. All right, what's Jen doing here? Oh, does that have seeing eyes through that? It's only half a port, but if you just get by the first one, it goes sideways enough
Oh!
to get through. Oh, nudge. Oh, I don't. There was a comment on Lucky. I don't think so. No, I think they were trying to get through there. I think that was the call. Either. Like they didn't want the tech.
There's been some fantastic
But-
through the port shots throughout this.
So for Matt and Jen, they puts the yellow ones in the back 4, which kind of opens up those. But they're still sitting 2, aren't they?
They sure are.
I think we're on a low-res monitor.
Yeah, I'm having trouble. I don't know whether it's my eyesight or.
Fuzzy rings.
There's sort of like.
Okay. How many rocks to come here? Hugh and Carly have 2. Matt and Jen have 1.
Yep.
So it's going to be Hugh first, Carly last. They're looking for 2, maybe 3. Oh, yeah. Fifth then. They're down 1, looking for 2, maybe 3.
So what are we
This
up
is
to
his
here?
4th draw curling in a row.
He's just trying to put another one in there.
Yep. I think he really wants to be top 4.
Yeah.
Just come around the red one that you see and sit top 4 is what he wants.
Looking a smidge wide, but
They do finish strong.
yeah.
And then
Sheet
there's
B has been quite curly.
and if not,
Quite enough.
leave it somewhere where you might be able to move it up later for 3. But Matt and Jen, they're going to want to come in again.
Maybe even give the rock a little nudge.
Same
Jen
same
seems
shot.
to
What do you think, Ian?
come through that port again.
Is that port? Yeah, and that port's a little wider now because they nudged it, didn't they?
Yep. We have had some quirkiness on sheets A and D over the last couple of weeks.
Only the 4 of them. And some on B and C too.
But Reese has made us some beautiful ice.
He's a magician. Man's a magician every time I win.
We love Reese when we
Terrible
win.
ice maker when I lose. I don't know what Dunedin's doing without him.
No, must be missing him. And of course, we've had some fabulous umpiring going on. We've got Carolyn down there looking a little cold,
Yep.
and we've got
Set.
our chief umpire is sitting in the peanut gallery here, Sandy Gagnon.
Yep.
Been keeping us in line.
You have to sweep this pretty hard to get it around.
I don't know that that's going to get through.
No. So, the shot that they were just short on is probably the one they want to promote. Yeah. It's not easy, and bad things can happen.
Yes,
Don't
there
think
be
about
dragons here.
it. Yes. Don't mention them. Just a nose tap,
Little
slight
tappy.
high angle tap. They
Tappy
need a-
tappy.
Tappy tappy. A little more than a bite on that 4 for 3.
But they'd be happy with 2. Actually, Hugh wouldn't be happy with
No.
2. He wants the 3, doesn't he?
No. And Carly has an excellent demeanor. You'd have to, wouldn't you?
You would.
You would.
How is the father-daughter dynamic on a team? You've had experience with that?
Couple of times
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
I think it just gets better and better.
yeah. Good answer.
Yes. it's an Yes. I'm more forgiving. I'm more patient
But
because I have a lot more to lose.
interestingly, playing with your spouse, I've found that I have been a bit
Short.
harder on my spouse than
Yes.
on my other teammates.
I once brought my spouse to curling.
Yes.
It was a men's team. We were practicing in Ottawa. We went to the Ottawa Curling Club. Classic black and all the colors of the Ottawa Rough Riders. Or what are they called now? Red, blacks? Something like that. Anyway, we went on the ice and we played the first end away from the glass, and I set her up behind the glass and got her a Prosecco or whatever. And then we're starting to play the second end, and I ducked my head in and I said, "How are you doing?" And she said, "Oh, good, you're done." I was bored.
Oh.
And that was the last time she came curling.
Yep.
Not her thing to
No,
watch curling.
Not her bag.
No.
It's quite a strategic game, though. Oh, power play!
Are we going to see the dance?
Come on. This is very disappointing.
I think that they're
It
a little
hasn't
more...
really caught on, has it?
Well, I think it's caught on amongst the masses, but not maybe the elitists. Right? And now I wish I could have done a dance myself. I feel like I've let you down.
You have.
Fiona, I'm sorry. Publicly apologizing here. Just so.
I think that perhaps we can write it into the rules next year for that a power play dance is required.
All right. He's got this strategy. We talked about this a couple ends ago.
Yeah.
He's got this top 8 strategy. This one's going to be T-line, I think. But he likes it a little high because they don't know what to do with it.
It's a little heavy.
Yeah. But it's still a good shot there.
I think it sort of brings play back into the middle, which is sort of what you don't want when you've called the power play.
Yes, correct. The old adage is when you have last rock, you want to be playing to the wings, leaving the center open for your one should you desperately need it, or for your multiple score.
Yes, and if you don't have hammer, you want to clog things up.
Yeah, congestion and
Make a wall. Make it
freeze.
hard. I've actually been consulting a curling strategy book in preparation for this competition. It's called What's Your Call?
What's your call?
Yeah, and
who wrote that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe
We'll ask Ian
GPT can figure out who wrote What's Your Call, the curling puzzle book. So they give you a scenario. So where the rocks are, what end you're on. You have to figure out what you would call.
Yes.
And then you scan the QR code, and it takes you to an actual game where that has played out.
Oh.
And you see what happens, and then they kind of dissect it, whether that was a good call or not.
Digital interactivity. I like
Book
that.
by Doug Wilson and Mikey Pendergast. And it's really, I think, improved my understanding. I think, as a novice curler, you kind of want everything near the button at all times. But that's not really... If you set things up nicely, you can...
It might be those guys, or it might be someone different. But there's some Facebook groups out there that do situational comments, and I can say that I've lost 20 minutes of work time when I worked, analyzing hit or draw.
Yes.
Freeze or top. So Matt stuck around in the back ring, but sitting third stone, so he was ignoring it. Was he calling straight around that corner to corner freeze? It's moving, but it looks pretty good.
So
is it too heavy?
No.
Stop. It's a foot too heavy.
I think
here we are back in Imperial.
I think in this puzzle book, they were calling this a wing nullifier. So it kind of neutralizes that shot.
So many people making up so many words. But it makes sense, right? It's descriptive.
Yeah. I love making up curling words.
I know.
Actually, I love making up words just in general.
You're a poet.
And I don't know it.
Takeout?
It looked that way. I think this book also referred to sort of rocks behind the tee as death rocks.
Catchers is another one. Or a hogged rock is also known as a round of beers.
Yes. I was reminded of that when I performed one of those last week.
Okay. Jen's playing the takeout. She's got that lovely weight. Like it's not overthrown. It's coming up. Just needs to curl a bit more. Nudges by and rolls. Pretty good.
Not
They'll be happy
quite
with that.
into shot rock, but still
They'll be happy
very
with
close.
that. Well, they're down 1 with hammer, and they get the important hammer in 6, because then you typically get it in 8.
Unless there's a steal.
Mm-hmm.
So Hugh's got a glove on here. Does this help with sweeping or?
Big Michael Jackson fan.
Woohoo!
And I encourage everyone to ask him to see his moonwalk.
I want to see the crotch grab.
He's on the dance floor. The man's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. One glove, one glove. He has stories about those gloves. Most of them are made up.
They're like kid leather or something, aren't they?
Mark-
I gave him a hard time and said they look like gardening gloves.
They are from Mark's Work Warehouse. Oh, he's not going to be happy. It's curled across the face.
Oy.
Jammed it and rolled out.
Not
And
ideal.
left Matt and Jen sitting 3, but that can happen. That's the loneliness of mixed doubles.
Yes.
When there's
He's-
2 of you out there and
He's
you
signaling,
see it
he's
it didn't run
gesticulating
straight.
wildly. It must have been a cutter, right?
It's hard to get good rocks.
A poor curler blames their rocks.
Ian Gagnon, our ChatGPT. Could you please bring me another cup of the Spates tea, please? Thank you. It's great service around here.
Top notch. Hats off.
And I'll get him to put it on the Hue tab. They taste better that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do. Well, Jen and Matt have to be happy looking at a house full of reds here. They're just going to pop another one in here for good measure.
They're going to want to sit 4, and it's kind of an over to you, Hugh and Carly.
Yep.
Are you going to make a double and roll? Are you going to just do a straight freeze? Are you going to make a triple? They're pretty spread out, so
Yeah, we've got quite a split house here.
this is a pivotal end right now. Thank you. No milk, thank you. There's a lot of settling up here in the bar at Naseby where people who lost or won morning games or
Yes.
collecting their
Actually,
drinks.
This is one of the nice things about curling, that the winners buy the non-winners a drink. So
Well,
it's a sort of a
in actual fact, the winners are to buy the losers a drink, but the losers are then to buy the winners a drink, and that should repeat in infinite
on
loop.
and on.
Yeah.
I think in our Monday night games at the O'Brien Ice House, we are often debating whether we want to win or not, depending on how thirsty we are.
Right. Well, so this is kind of Hugh and Carly still have 2 shots to come, but there's no natural doubles in this setup. Matt and Jen have it very well. Oh, but
It looks like we're going for
He's
a
going
smashy
for it.
smashy.
he's going to eliminate one for sure, and he's going to want to hang around. And he'd like to slide sideways. He's not going to be too bad. He's going to stick around.
Oh, very nice shot.
Moved
Hugh.
it.
Bravo.
Yeah. Tonight, there's a bit of support for Hugh. I think the crowd's a bit 50-50. Definitely wasn't the case last night. It's a strong underdog crowd here.
Yes. It was a cracker game last night between Ian and Roz and Hugh and Carly.
Mm-hmm.
Jen and Matt obviously wanting to get this yellow out of their lovely red house.
Yep. Typically, you don't want to hit and stay there. You probably want to hit and roll a little to my left. Just to keep it nice and spread out and no natural doubles or freezes.
And I think on this sheet, things stay quite straight in the 4-foot area. So
I think so too. Which I didn't always. I learned.
you figured it out eventually.
Jen and Matt are solid together.
They are. They do often have some heated discussions on the ice.
Yep.
But
Oh, I think Fiona, they found that straight spot.
I think they did.
I don't know whether this is going to hang around. It'll eliminate the yellow, but not stick around. So Hughes' shot kind of worked out that they went from 4 to 3.
Yep.
But now,
I think it's also challenging to throw a hit without a broom.
without a broom, and
Yeah.
maybe you're the sweeper, or a bit of chaos.
Because these lines are actually really challenging when somebody's holding a broom down the other end. It comes down to quite a small radius down at your hack end.
Oh my goodness. Oh, they provide an amazing service here
It's a full
at
service.
Maniatoto Curling Club. My rental car has I think it's a Yaris. It's made by Porsche.
Okay.
It's and one of the tiny little tires can't handle gravel roads.
How have you been driving this, Steve, to have
This-
created a flat tire?
Well,
Bit of Tokyo drift action in the
I won't
Naseby.
mention the rental car company, and they may be listening. But,
Trying to get rid of another red one here.
oh,
It's got past.
Will it sit for second? No. Okay. I have a draw for 3. Not terrible,
No,
is what Hugh Millikin would say now.
he's got a smile on his face.
Bad, but not terrible. Well, it's eliminated the rock, so Jen and Matt will probably safely draw for 3, you'd expect.
You would think
Given
so.
that it's a game of draw.
Yeah, I think they've got their draw weight dialed in.
But sometimes when it's like this,
The final shot
can
can
be
be
a
a little nervy.
you push out a little too hard. Do you hold it a little longer?
Give it a little
Pull
too
back?
much of a push.
All those things are possible. Stopwatch is ready. Down the middle. Wasn't expecting that. But he's drawing to his one at the back. Just in case.
Some backing
Just gives
is
a bit of-
always nice.
Just a bit of comfort.
Yeah.
Well, it's not short.
Oh, hopefully it doesn't knock their.
I think he's got it. He's having a look,
That
but
one
he's
out.
not going to sweep it. 3.
3 red.
In
Very
the
nice.
flow of the game, that was a pretty big 3 under.
Power play has delivered again.
Born fruit. So,
What are we? 7-5.
yep. Hugh and Carly have Hammer playing 7 down 2. 2 to tie would make it exciting coming home, but would
Well-
probably deny us of an extra end.
We've had a lot of extra ends in this
Have.
competition.
3 the other night, which
Yep, 3 out of
increased the
4.
commentators' pay quite significantly. There's
NT.
yeah, Brad from WA has a rule that he doubles the commentators' pay if there's a extra end. So.
Rocks being set up.
You can see the gallery includes a lot of the New Zealand national teams. A lot of the ones that will be competing. I think that's next week is their New Zealand nationals.
Ah. Well, I guess it's Saturday, so
Saturday night
come
in
down
Naseby.
and watch some curling.
That's right. I'll meet you at the traffic light in town. There isn't one, by the way. There is no traffic lights in Naseby.
quiet again from Matt.
But we had to change houses, and we were unpacking the stuff at a second house. And it was up the hill in Naseby. And a neighbor came out to welcome us and said, don't park your car on the corner because it's very busy on the weekends in
peak hour.
Naseby. And we acknowledge that with all respect.
Yes.
And then we snickered inside the house because it's a rare event that there'd be two cars.
Actually,
inside.
when we kind of turn onto the main road, we're quite surprised if there's a car coming.
Yes, it's a special moment.
Yeah, it is. It's like, whew.
Let's see if are we getting any comments? I haven't really looked for a while.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Oh my goodness. There's people talking about pineapple and pizza. It's out of control.
Okay, what's your take on this, Steve?
It's a yes at sometimes for me.
I don't
But it's not
mind it.
always.
I don't tend to like fruit in savoury things as a general rule, but I don't mind pineapple on a pizza. I know that's controversial.
I quite like meat with fruit.
No.
You know?
No.
Duck
that's
and cherries.
Incorrect.
No, but that's what I like.
I know.
So are you saying I'm
Yeah,
incorrect?
yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'll talk to Maggie Beers and sort her out then, shall I?
I don't
Because
like...
my pheasant would have had
I
that from her
don't like...
Pheasant Farm
I,
restaurant.
I don't like sultanas in rice dishes.
What about raisins?
No.
No.
No, I don't like apricot chicken.
What about apricot chicken?
No, I hate
No?
it. No, it's incorrect.
Okay. Do you like tomatoes?
Well, yeah, but they're sort of not really a fruit, right?
I thought you were going to call me tomatoes. but anyway.
Tomato. All right, Jen will be hoping to get one in the house here. It's looking very yellow at the moment.
Well,
Yeah, she's
it
gonna-
seems like this game just keeps flowing one way or the other,
does.
right? Like one team's ahead, then the next team's ahead, and now like
Keeping us on our toes.
Matt was short, Carly was good, Jen was
Jen's
very good.
held in, beautiful.
But Yellow seems to be sitting two still.
Yep.
This is another one of those kind of really important shots. If you can skinny that guard and get to the inside, because it runs straight,
Yeah, and then
with the right weight
tucks in.
and a magician like Carly on the broom. Inside that rock goes. Look at that sports demeanor. It's all game face. They're ready. Checking the time, checking the line. Important thing for this is Hugh to give Carly some feedback on how he threw it when he lets it go.
Yes.
And you got to be self-critical. I was a little wide.
Yep.
I think it's light. I think
I
it's
gave
heavy.
it a little.
Yeah. They'll be-
Because those times are really...
guides.
Well, if you take a time and somebody's pushed it, it's kind of irrelevant.
Is the weight there? Because the track is good. This looks like it's got eyes. Is it going to curl enough?
It's looking kind of nice. Oh, maybe a
Looks
bit
short.
short.
It's probably the right tolerance, though. You didn't really want to bump the red and bump open. Matt and Jen are thinking about run back bail time.
Oh, yeah.
Calling a timeout, I believe.
Yep.
He kind of, that's Matt recognizing that this is a
Crucial.
crux point.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, you want to get this one right. They just got control of the game, being up 2.
They want to hold on to it.
They would love They'd love Hugh and Carly to get a single point here, so they could be one up with the hammer playing 8.
So in our grudge match game against Dan and Andy yesterday, it was supposed to be a fun game, right?
Battle of the housemates.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be like, this.
Yeah.
We'll have fun, but it actually came down to like who was going through to the playoffs type game. So when we thought it was going to be a fun game, we'd planned to do a timeout and then just have a dance off.
Yes.
But unfortunately,
Didn't play out that way. No.
it turned out to be this shit got real type match. And
Curlies are a lovely people, but
we-
competitive on the ice.
we took them to an extra end, and it came down to the last shot, so we were quite happy with ourselves. Because they had introduced us to curling, we felt like we were their Padawan learners.
Yes.
And they acknowledged that
Yes, Grasshopper.
it was time for us to leave the nest now. We had graduated.
Did they make you wax their car when you were learning to
Wax
curl?
on, wax
Did
on.
they make you do that?
Of course, Anne's
Yes.
a master delegator.
She's
All
putting
right.
quite a lot of effort into the juniors, right?
She has.
She apparently has. She's got an inventory. She's got 4 old pairs of my shoes and old pants and
It's like a
recycling.
bowling alley of
It's
shoes.
Very impressive.
But no, I think getting the youngsters into the sport means that a bit of a succession plan. So I don't know what they called here after their timeout, but I'm excited to see.
Thank you, Lauren, for the comment. Shout out to Lauren DePop. Lives in God's country in a place called Hahe in the
Okay.
Coromandel Peninsula. I don't know, it's 3 hours east of Auckland.
Okay.
I was over to visit with my wife in February. Beautiful place. Unbelievable. Lauren recently turned, well, he looks 50, but he might have turned an older number than that.
How many times has he turned 50?
I don't know.
I think Anne's on to her second 50th.
Is she?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Is that what they were after?
I don't think so. I kind of opened it up for them for the last. Was Hugh just going to guard?
Yep. Clog that back up.
He's going to guard. There's still lots of rocks to come. Hugh has still 5 rocks to play.
I still think
Hugh and Carly have hammer.
yellows are still sitting too.
They are.
Look at that. Bit of discussion going on here.
Okay.
I think guarding is good.
Yeah. Getting the line right and getting the sweeping right. Get the line right, get the weight right, and release it right. 3
Yes.
things to do.
I often find if it's sort of one or the other.
Mm.
I can have a great line.
Or
but
2 out of 3 ain't
yeah,
bad, but that's wrong.
the weight's
Yeah.
wrong, or the weight's good, but the line's off.
Oh. I wasn't expecting that turn. But it might be the straighter way, which has less error ratio maybe. He knows the way in there. The other way finishes hard, so this is probably a little easier to manage. He doesn't mind if he touches that red one a little bit. But not quite getting there. Opened up the hole. Okay. I think Matt's licking his lips going,
I don't know. I'm not good at this.
I can get to the nose of that and make a double. He's calling it for Jen. He's not coming down the other end to sweep.
I've apparently cocked up the scoreboard, so I'm going to be working on that. So
Okay.
talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I can remind people that are listening what the score is.
Okay, thank you.
Matt Panoussi has 7, and Hugh and Jen, and Hugh and Carly have 5, so they're 2 down with
Oh,
hammer.
I missed the fourth
Sitting
end.
2, but Matt's coming down. He's going to sweep, so Jen will probably call line. And there's an obvious double, which would turn the fortunes of this end quite significantly if it's made.
I think I fixed that, but
Okay.
so we didn't quite get that guard in there. Oh, so she's coming through the port. Oh, is it going to make it?
Oh my.
Oh, just clipped the guard.
Let's go with it's a game of centimeters.
Yes.
stay metric.
Yes.
Wow.
I actually think that curling should switch to metric.
So what would that make the rings?
I think it'd be ridiculous numbers.
1.74
Yes.
recurring.
You could ask Ian GPT.
Can we get? Thank you. Can we get a metric version of the various the 12 foot, 8 foot? Oh yes, we know that. When we throw our LSDs out, it's 199.6.
Mm-hmm. So Hugh, Carly have had a bit of fortune there with Jen just touching the guard. I thought it was going to curl.
It was very close.
He's going to replace that guard. He's got a little more weight. His last one, you saw it. It overbended.
I didn't actually because I was trying to fix the
You
score.
were?
I looked up and I was like, where did that guard go? Oh, here we go.
He probably, he's not going to be able to sit in for 3. He just wants to get in the
Yeah,
way.
get in the way.
Oh,
Be annoying.
He's going
it's
to overbend
overcurled.
again. Oh, he's not going to be happy. He's not going to be happy.
All right, so
He would have
Ian
much
GPT has provided us the metric. So the 4 foot is 1.22 metres, the 8 foot is 2.44 metres, the 12 foot is 3.66 metres, and the button is 0.152 metres.
You can drink on my tab. Is something you rarely hear me say.
Okay. Our chief umpire,
Put my,
Sandy, has referred us to
Flat
the
tire on my rental car just got fixed.
curling handbook with always on the ball is our head
Now,
umpire, Sandy.
they're giving Matt and Jen a second kick at this. You don't like
Straight
giving
down the
people...
middle.
Yeah, it's a different thrower. It's Matt, not Jen, but the hole's a little bigger. I don't know.
Steve doesn't do
I don't
numbers.
do detail. I don't do detail.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy Gagnon. I don't think we can change unless we change the size of the rings.
No.
So Matt puts it in play. Whereas Jen was a little on the wide side.
I think he's not
Matt's
happy
not
with
happy. He's on the narrow side. But oh, unfortunately, I think he's even pushed another yellow into the counter.
Ouch.
They're trading punches, so it's 3 now. And there is only 1 stone to come from Carly.
Oy vey.
How do you find your way in for a 4th?
Well,
I don't
he's
know why
going to
that,
want to give it a go.
I don't know why you don't want to play the intern, but
Well, even 3 is nice at this point. 4 would be better.
yeah.
All right, so we're down to Carly.
I don't know about you, but I see just an intern,
Yeah.
and it comes around those guards towards the red one that's in the 4 foot, but just definitely on the center side, and you just rest up in there, and you're in good shape.
So the intern and outturn terminology used to confuse me, and then I think when we were in Canada earlier this year, I was told it's an outturn if your elbow moves out with your delivery, and an intern if your elbow moves in.
That's clever. I'd never heard that.
Yeah,
Was that from Al Moore?
could have been.
Could have been. Carly's put it in play. You know, she can... It's not light. Can you dance off that red one and slide it towards the other red one? You should have swept that, because if you nose the other... Oh, it's... No, yes, no, yes, no.
Do we need to
There's
measure?
a lot of debate over, is it 3 or is it 4? Or is it 2?
I think they're... Oh, are they called the yellow? Or are we getting a measure? Oh,
Well, Carolyn Swan's right there.
yep.
She's going to let us know. They're kicking the rocks off.
I think the sage advice from Sandy earlier in the competition was if you need to look more than once, get a measure.
I think it's because she likes TV time.
Well, it's quite a cool little device, the measurer.
It is. I think it should feature more on TV commentary. Like you can often get, the camera zooming in
yeah,
and then
on the
overhead.
little dial.
Yeah. Because like people go ooh and ah with a dial. Okay. Carolyn Swan.
3. Thanks.
A 3. So the good news is somewhat of a chance of an extra end. I could drink more tea. And his 4th draw in a row.
I'm tired just thinking about that. I think in our final round robin game yesterday, I was like, do I actually want to win this? I don't know that I want to play an extra game here. Getting a bit sore after playing the women's and the mixed.
It is a bit daunting because the winner of this goes on to play probably the 2nd best team in the world today ranking. Just finished their world championship where they came 3rd. And as one who was handed a significant loss playing them, they are very different than everybody else here.
They're next level.
Actually, more than one level.
many levels. All of the levels.
But it's great to see. It's great to see people that are from a country that doesn't have ice. We've got to fly internationally to play our national championships.
Yes. Well, I think the Canadians were a bit amused when we said, like in Canada, you've got to win your local competition and then the next one and the next one and the next one to get to the Briars or and we kind of go, hey, you want to form a team and pay the money, and now we're in the nationals.
And if you win, you got to find $6,000 and take 2 weeks off work.
Exactly.
So this is the 8th end. Matt and Jen have hammer. Carly was a bit short on her first one.
She was, and this is pulling up a
Matt's
bit light
a bit short. I found that later in the game, the ice can just get a little bit tighter, and it's you actually have to have a little more be there weight, and I think they both might have got caught on that.
Yeah, I think kind of judging those changes in the ice makes a big difference to.
But this right now is an important shot. Like if you don't, I don't know if he can't play a hit, but he can move stuff around, or he can try and find a way to the 4-foot and be shot. Playing the out turn. I want to track closer to the guard. It's basically saying whoa, wait only. Don't want to be deep. You want to be above the tee line. You want to curl around the corner, so
A little heavy? No.
not all the way there.
Just moving.
I noticed there's only a minute of time left. Are they going to stop when the time runs out? Fiona? Is that
all
what
over.
happens? How does it work?
I think that they needed to have started the last end before
A little.
the clock
Oh,
runs
okay.
out.
So a bit of leniency.
What are we thinking?
I'm going to
here,
make a
Jenna?
prediction. I think we're going to see a run back.
Okay,
So
you're
not this shot.
consulting the crystal ball.
I think that Jen's going to make this shot, and Hugh's going to have to move one of those top stones.
I do like a run
And it-
back.
yeah.
They're not the easiest things to perform, though.
No. He's made a few and he's missed a few in his illustrious curling career.
I think Anne had a fabulous one the other day. They were just all. I think there was like 6 rocks lined up, and she sort of smashed them all
Wow.
back. I
To
don't
move
think-
6 rocks, you'd have to throw quite a bit of weight.
Yeah. It was like the Newton's balls or whatever those
Yes.
things are.
I think that yellow rock is actually just a friendly guide for Jen right now. She doesn't really want to come to it because she would then be back
Yes.
See, and then he would have the same shot again. Her preference is to be top 4. Although they've decided to
Look, he's bringing it in.
sweep it. And now it's that, am I going to sweep for straight or am I going to watch it go through the hole and then create a pocket? Okay. It's that tweener, you know? Are we doing this shot or are we doing that shot? And it's hard
Yep.
because you think, I'm going to switch, and then you go, oh, I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And then you go, yes, I should have.
So there's some nice backing there now for Hugh.
Yep. And you get a little action off the other yellow one if he's not, but he doesn't even need it.
No.
He actually comes, within half a rock of that high guard. He'll be in great shape to. You really want
Nestle in there.
Yeah. There's still room for another rock, given the fact that
Yeah.
placed rock is back 4.
Yep.
So you actually can fit one more on top of it that could be shot.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be exciting if that was Matt and Jen's shot? Not light. Good track. It's got a curl. It's a little too much weight. He's in that same, needs to rub off his yellow and then slide over, but it's not quite curling enough. Oh, maybe a little bit. No,
That was a nose hit.
kind of.
Just, well, it's sort of in a better place. It's right on tee now, but
You're an optimist. He's not happy
no, well,
because he sees that.
he's giving a.
Because Matt and Jen can put themselves in a great position if they make this shot
Yep.
to win the game and move on to the final.
They would be.
But Hugh still has another shot.
He does.
Carly has another shot.
Yep. Still time.
And I know everybody wants an extra end.
We do love that. All right, high pressure shot from Jen. Maybe just wanting to nestle in amongst those other reds. How's it looking?
Jen's got that pro delivery. Comes out and that consistent set. And then it comes in. She's calling the line for Matt. It's probably enough, but the door's still ajar there, right? Like you can still see a path to the button.
I can. There's a bit of a crutch there.
And he did just play this shot.
He did. It's always nice when you get to play the same shot more than one time because you kind of have the muscle memory there.
Hugh and Carly are up 1. Last end, Matt and Jen have hammer.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Looks like it's got a bit of weight on it.
He's not short. It's all there. It's all about the line now. I think he wants to come off that red one. He's going to need to.
Just
calling the
make it
line.
by that
Yep,
guard.
yep.
Looks
Took
beautiful.
a very nice shot.
Beautiful. Oh,
Okay.
well, that's
It's a nice shot.
very nice.
Applause from up top.
There's still room.
Job
on
not
that
done though.
button,
Yeah,
though.
that's the old thing in the early days of mixed doubles. That position stone used to be on the tee line.
Really?
Now it's a little bit further back, the back 4. Just kind of opens up the end a little bit.
Yep.
And you're seeing that now. Can fit more rocks in.
Yes. Everybody wants that button spot.
How many shots have we seen down this path just now? Hasn't it been every shot?
I think so.
Feels like every shot.
It's almost like a conveyor belt in here.
Most of them have just been a little bit heavy
Yeah.
and a little bit straight. Question is, You're going to see Jen come out with her pro release, little set, lots of comms.
I think Hugh was saying that the ice will speed up with 8 rocks going over the same path, and
Yep.
then we'll kind of stay around about that speed. So
That's a bit wide. Didn't quite track in.
Oh, goodness me.
Not good. I hope Matt's okay.
ouch.
That was a bit
That-
messy.
That has moved some rocks around too.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah,
Ouch.
that's too bad. That's not
A fall on the ice is not a comfortable experience.
first thing is we care about the person and make sure they're okay. He's not good. And they're going to need to figure out what it looked like and where it was. I'd like to be able to help them with the tech that we've got in the camera, but I don't know that it's a permissible evidence in this scenario. I think that the skips need to put it back to where they think it was.
And
Yeah, I think
bit of
that's.
advice from the umpire as well.
Anybody take a photo? Someone screenshot it? Don't know. Yes. Audience members
I think
jumping on their mobiles,
Grace is heading down with the
pushing the new digital boundaries of curling. I think we do need to take our time.
They're coming down. Oh, Sandy's come down.
I don't know.
I think Grace just went down with the
Little debate on if you can use that information
live
or not.
stream shot.
I know that the intent of both teams would be to put them back exactly where they were.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
And so
We've got
some great help.
We've got a screenshot of the.
Hope Matt's okay. It's physically it's hard. It's having fallen on
doesn't
rocks
seem to
myself.
be,
It's a little on the embarrassing side.
He doesn't seem to be
He seems okay.
in too much distress. It's like reassembling the jigsaw.
Pushing the boundaries of new technology and curling here.
This one was here. This other one was there.
I don't know whether he.
That one was coming in.
Hold on a second.
I think we have nearly reassembled. Are they trying to predict what would have happened? Some pointing and that one back there. Oh, hang on.
Okay.
They're still trying to reassemble this state of play. Zoom and enhance.
Yeah, it's a big scenario. Is where what are you replacing? Are you replacing where it was? Did you burn the moving rock, which theoretically that rock would come off? Did you want it to finish?
Yes.
And you want to play it out
Yeah,
after
what
that?
would have happened if that hit that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I know Matt feels terrible about it, no doubt. It's part of the perils of playing a sport on slippery ice
Yes.
with something with Teflon.
Yes.
We don't have the ability to do replays right here, but you do. If you
Yes.
just rewind it, if you want to watch that in slow-mo. Just trying to make light of a difficult situation.
Yes. I think the funny thing is that, like, I've often slipped in the driveway coming to the rink, not necessarily slipping on the ice.
Okay. There's a lot of adjustment because I think a lot of rocks were on the move.
They were. All right, so what did we end up with here?
Yeah, let's recap. We're in the 8th end. Matt and Jen are red, and they have hammer, and they need 1 to tie and
Which
2
would
to
take
win.
them to an extra end.
And there are 2 rocks to come.
Yellow currently
Yep.
sitting
1 yellow and 1 red.
short rock.
So Hugh says better than a guard is another one in the rings.
Pop another one on the button, Carly.
And I think they're just doing some more checking on.
Review.
There's a lot of rocks in that house.
At some point, though, you've got to just get on with it.
Yep. Bit unfortunate, bit of a change to the rhythm of the game.
Yeah.
But,
These things happen.
2 rocks to come. You'd have to say that Hugh and Carly are sitting in a pretty good position.
They are.
Matt and Jen are trying to figure out if there's you can go the other way, get to the 4 foot. or
Is there a
beat
path
that
to
other
victory?
that other yellow one. It's a pretty fine shot. Almost the run backs are yellow, so that's not pretty. There's a slash on a.
And there hasn't been a lot
Red
of
one.
play down this other side for a while.
Carly's playing I think that he wants her to go right in.
Yep. Get another one in there.
If she throws one in and freezes on the yellow, pretty difficult for Matt and Jen. Rocks in play. Start to turn. Oh no.
That's going to wreck.
Oh no, is he just by?
No.
Gonna
Bugger.
slightly open it up.
Ooh.
Probably not what they were looking for. They wanted to definitely be around that or wider would have been the tolerance.
So if Jen and Matt just come in the same line, well, obviously
Easy-
not the...
Easily said.
Yeah, I know.
Difficult
Easier
to
said
do.
than done.
But there's a shot. Is there a shot just to tie, or are they
Yeah.
thinking about a shot to win?
Ooh. Can they get that yellow out?
They don't need it out. They just need 2 red ones closer.
True.
So. Lots happened in the last few minutes.
It's certainly added some spice to the game.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to hit the guard.
I think they're discussing the path. I think you see a straight, and curl. The path is there. There's a few guides if they're slightly off track. I'm not seeing a 2. I'm seeing a single point if they
Seeing an
make the
extra
shot.
end in our future.
Yeah.
Consulting the crystal ball.
Seeing more T. Matt and Jen sorting out line and times.
Taking a
Stand
breath.
up, reset, big breath, yeah.
There's a lot of kind of pre-shot routine stuff that goes on, isn't there?
There definitely is. Beautifully thrown rock. I don't think it needs sweeping. It's got to curl.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh! Oh my.
Ooh.
The tiny rub he needed. Well. Oh.
The Hugh measure.
I'm not going to comment on how you shouldn't be doing that, but just measure it.
Oh,
One
red.
red.
For an extra
Well.
end.
It's kind of fitting after that. What would you call it?
Stack.
Stack? Wow.
Whew.
This means we're going to make more money advertising revenue. I should mention Deep Heat Rub is Hugh Millikin's sponsor.
Well,
You know, Matt's quite a good cook.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's his specialty?
He made a chili for the men's team during the week. It was pretty good.
That can be a bit dangerous if you have
Wasn't
a
our
bit of a
first
spicy belly.
Wasn't our first choice of food during the week, but it wasn't too spicy.
Okay. You didn't need the toilet paper in
No,
the freezer.
it was fine. It was fine. Is that what you do?
Well, yeah.
Interesting.
Very soothing.
All right, game on. I think it's a
Indeed.
good thing that it's gone to an extra.
Yeah.
A lot of points scored again. 8-8. Not as many as the other night, which was
No.
11-11 or something, was it?
It was crazy.
12-11 after extra.
It looked like a cricket score.
We should ask Perry Marshall what the odds are. What are the odds of the team with the hammer winning the game in an extra end? 65. So the higher
In men's and women's.
men's and women's.
Slightly lower in the mixed.
So there's a distinct advantage for Hugh and Carly with Last Rock. But again, it's these first two.
You never can tell with
That's
this
been
game.
a touch short the last couple ends, so this is a pretty big shot. He needs to bounce back, no pun intended, from the eighth.
He did have a bit of a bounce.
Yeah. No one else in the arena. Track is looking good. Matt's even coming up to help. Closer's better. Top ring. That's an okay result.
bad.
It's not what they're after, but you can do worse.
It leaves the other side open for Carly to occupy that.
This is a big shot too, right? She throws this
Button.
top four. It's kind of uphill for Matt and Jen. I didn't get my prediction. I thought we were going to get a run back the last
I
end.
know.
Do you think we get one this end?
I hope so. There's been a distinct lack of smashy in this game. Looking a little short too. There's, the peanut galleries commenting that the ice has gotten frostier since the seniors
Tightened
practice
up a little,
section
yeah.
has come off.
A few feet shorter, but we noticed that in the last end too.
Yep.
So yeah. Two short ones just makes it messy. It's messy, messy, messy.
It's so messy.
Hey, that's on my playlist.
I like that song.
Yeah. You know, with Spotify, you can do a joint playlist, so it overlays your songs and what you like
Yes.
with my songs and what I like,
Yes.
and it'll come up with a hybrid kind of playlist.
Very
It's a new
nice.
feature. So that song came up when Veronica and I did it.
Okay. Very nice. We were making up some curling words to it earlier in the week.
I was with Kim Forge and Powell and Hugh or Ian? Ah, it was Ian. And we were at Mixed Worlds, and we'd won a couple games but lost more. And we had a party at our house, and we created a playlist
Yes.
based on a word.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, it was quite, you could do all kinds of creative things.
I love a good playlist. Brad and I have actually created a funeral playlist.
Already,
Yeah.
you're well planned.
Oh, nice.
Look at that shot. Is it shot or is it?
Oh, it's hard to yeah, I think it is.
See, 2 short ones, and now there's something. And what am I going to get? I'm going to get a
Smashy,
run back.
smashy.
Yeah. Hugh has last rock, and he knows down the middle is nowhere to play. He'd much rather open this
Open
up.
it up.
And this is his first shot. He still has 3 and an end, of course. So, but when he hits the first one, he's kind of looking for some fortune behind it.
Yes.
He's looking to get 2 of them, maybe, if he hits it on the out-turn high side.
Clearing multiple rocks is very satisfying.
Crossing the face, and he'll say, just the single peel, maybe. Yeah, just enough single peel.
Yes. It does move a bit when you throw a hit over the centre line.
Matt says, I'm guarding.
Well, they only need 1, don't they?
Yep.
Sort of past that curl. See here, it curls. There. It doesn't.
Is it red shot?
I did suggest it.
I think it is.
Do we think that red shot is? Red is shot? Red is shot.
We have a consensus. What happens if they blank this? I know that it's not another end.
I think if they blanket, the umpires frown,
Yes,
because they've been on the ice for a long time.
yes, they're already quite cold.
But it's an unlikely thing in mixed doubles.
And if you get a blank in mixed doubles, it just hands over to the other team, doesn't it?
I think so.
Unlike the
pretty rare
unlike
event.
the fours where you
It's fine. It's,
re-
good. It's tactical.
retain the hammer
Yes.
if you blank the end.
Hugh has 2 shots to come. Carly has 1. He needs to move some granite. He doesn't just want a single peel. He needs to move some of the other stuff.
Smashy, smashy.
His last one curled a bit. Okay. He's done this quite a few times.
What's Hugh's peel weight? How many seconds?
Don't know. I think probably interval would be a 2.7.
Okay.
That's curling again now. He wants the other one now.
I don't think he's getting a piece of that, but oi!
Okay.
Well, it got rid of it. We've just had confirmation.
We've measured it at an 8.
At an 8-second peel.
I think Dean and Tanner would call that hack weight.
I think there's been some 6-second peels going on here
Yep.
in the men's competition and mixed doubles. Although I think some of the women have been throwing pretty.
Yes, big weight.
big
I've also
weights.
seen
There's-
Thomas Benz throw quite a few big weight hits.
I think the Aggie rocket certainly gets
Some
up
advice.
there.
I don't know. It's pretty streamlined. I liked it.
Red still hanging in there as shot rock.
Guard, peel guard. Looking, he needs that. Hugh needs more than a single.
Yeah,
play.
just
He needs
picking
some-
off one at a time is not going to get him
He needs
what he
some
wants.
magic. Maybe some Fiona magic.
Ooh,
Off the corner?
the slashy.
Yeah. At this point, he's still just going to be opening it up and try and give Carly some sort of line of sight to the forefoot to win the game.
And these guys just wanting to draw another one in there.
Yep. I think they're looking to throw a guard on this side of the center line.
Okay.
So important We saw that in previous ends where the guards just over curled and
Yes,
finished
they
too
did,
much
didn't
and
they?
left
Left
people with the same shot again.
Left the path to victory.
What do they call it in 8? Oh, where is he?
It's curling. Is there still a path there?
Well, is it enough to go through, or is it a teaser?
It is enticing.
Is it a teaser? Yes.
Come through the port.
That's right. He needs to get there. There's two. It's Hughes' shot.
Will he be enticed?
He's had two kind of half shot peels, not really working out. He needs one to work.
That's looking. You trying a hit?
I'm not sure.
There's like the tiniest sliver of that red hanging out.
Yeah, but
That's tricky.
who's got a shot? Who can see a shot? What would you be playing, everyone?
Let's crowdsource this.
Yeah.
What do we think?
What should he play? Double peel?
Ian wants
The run if it doesn't work, double peel. Get rid of the shooter. Got to open it up for Carly, right? You can't. Yeah. Yeah.
Any other calls? A draw? Straight draw?
That would be interesting. Nose hit on your own to sit shot.
Ooh. Interesting.
That's interesting.
He's checking out all the angles.
It's got some controversy around that one. There's a lot of debate, but there's
I
no.
think he's being enticed into this.
You
this
think
port.
the teaser
Yeah.
instead of the double peel.
He's looking
Because
at
you
it.
can see a shot doesn't mean it's
You
the best
can
shot.
make it.
Doesn't mean you can make it. It doesn't mean you should play it. But if it works, there we go. Well,
Can we see some magic from Hugh?
you can't roll much. No, we haven't seen the weight. But you got to have something to go through that port.
He's using the force.
Yep. All on the line here. Winner of this goes to play in the final. Third last rock. Extra end.
It's coming.
Oh, he's not far off. Is he?
Ooh,
Oh.
no. Oh, he's not happy. Not happy at all.
It's the right idea, but I think he needed to curl more.
Yeah. We've got a nail biter.
Matt and Jen. Now the. You know,
There's some chants of God going on here.
well, they're thinking of throwing up another one in on top of that, but wouldn't that give Carly just more to play with?
God, 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 God.
What do you guard? Do you guard the pick? The pick goes straight into the. yellow one kind of anyway. Maybe you cursed him and there's going to be a blank. No. I doubt it, but you never know.
Interesting times. Oh. They're
Yeah, we hope
contemplating
Matt's
the
okay
draw.
too. Philip from WA. Hopefully he didn't bang his head.
He seems to
I think it was
have
his
shaken it off.
I think it was his elbow,
Okay.
but
Hopefully he doesn't need to do too much sweeping then.
yeah. So, are they calling the freeze on it to sit second?
It looked like a draw, kind of.
Because right now, what would Carly play before he throws this rock? What would she play? It's difficult. You can't pick it out. It goes back on the yellow. It's like... So hopefully he doesn't make it easy. Well, for Matt and Jen's sake, hopefully he doesn't make it easier for Hugh and Carly. I would,
it is very much like a chess game, isn't it?
It is. And Hugh's kind of hoping he's a little wide and heavy and gives him, or even just a little outside, gives him something to work with.
Yep.
And you don't want to. Yep, some other smart people in the crowd are saying, "Hope he doesn't tick the guard," because that would open it up too. It's not gonna tick the guard, that's for sure. Jen's sweeping that well.
Yep.
It's gonna curl under, but short. Is it in the rings? It's in the rings.
Ooh, it's nibbling.
So your blank's off the table. Or are they coming off the corner to do some Fiona magic? Can they curl up and get to, I don't think they can get to the yellow one. Is there like a, can you get enough of that red one around the corner to not jam? She's got to tap it to back 8. Tap it to back 8.
There's enough of it showing.
Yeah. There is. It's kind of one of those things that physically the shot is there.
Yes.
If you throw the right weight and it makes its turn and the sweeping's done right.
All of the universe has to
it takes a lot
be
to
in
move
alignment.
a stone that 4 or 5 feet.
Yes.
When you're only hitting a piece of it.
Indeed.
So you almost need back 12, back line to make sure it goes through.
Yep.
And then it doesn't curl as much.
It's true. They do stay straighter the more weight you throw at it.
But she's not playing that.
No.
Yes, she is.
Oh.
Sorry. So it's out there and turning,
It's
but not
hanging out.
quite turning enough. Matt and Jen will win this game. Quite a tussle for the semi-final.
Bravo. Well done to Jen and Matt, who will be taking on Dean and Tali.
They get to have another crack at them tonight at
7
7.
tonight. Tune in.
Yeah. Thank you, Fiona.
Thank you, Steve.
I might have another cup of tea.
Enjoy.
Thanks for listening. Bye now.